Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakak Wadash, and double honors to that apostles of the great millstone that have taught me this truth, and including the bishops on down. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Brakatham to 144,000, and including the 1/3 as well. And of course, it's your brother Laban. And I just want to first address something of an issue of this video that was had. Now, this video is originally supposed to be 23 going into 24 minutes long, but they cut 4 minutes out of that. Of course, as you can see, it's 20 minutes and 4 seconds in. And as I was reading Isaiah, 26 and verse 5 again, they cut it off. Because I guess they was cut to the heart and they knew where I was going with, this video, basically, And of course, it's understandable because look who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the so-called King Charles III, which is, down there in the UK of this country, which we know who the real kings are. And it certainly isn't who they say this guy is, as they've proclaimed him to be. As he's titled the king, right? But that's a different topic for a different moment in time. So, once again, they got cut, and so much so that they edited the part of the video off, but the point was pretty much made clear in what I was saying. And just to say this as well, I'm not upset about what they did at all, because it's just very well indicating and showing that they are now listening in to what we're saying. Now, they may not believe in everything that what we're saying, but they're taking it into somewhat of a consideration that maybe what we're saying has some kind of truth to it. But I mean, who really cares what they think? The truth is the truth. And the truth of what I was saying at the end of this video here is that the Edomites, which are above right now, are going to be below, because things don't never stay the same. Things change all the time. I mean, everything and everyone has a moment, right? And then their moment is no longer. And that's just the truth, man. There's nothing you can really do about it. All we're doing is we're just the children of the truth, reporting on the truth. That's all we're doing. We're just telling you what the deal is going to be. And it's not out of hate. It's basically out of love. All right. Even though it looks like hate, but we're really doing this out of love because we love what we do. And the truth is life. As Jake would say, life is love. Okay. So for the sake of the truth, we're going to teach it, man. And the book of truth, which is the book of life, will be expressed. Because the Lord is going to give the order of that to be the case. All right. Hebrews 4:12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of the soul and spirit, and the joint and the marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intent of the heart. So if one isn't right, when they hear the words of the Lord, they're going to get cut into pieces in the soul. That's what it means to what? Dividing asunder of the soul. They're going to be cut into pieces. It's going to be very offensive to the point where it's going to drive them probably off the wall. So, in saying that, if the truth is an issue to you, then maybe you need to do some soul searching. Or if you're just a flat out Edomite, there's nothing you can really do about it. Okay. Because originally the intention is just to edify. We don't do these lessons to make fun of people or to, put harmful content out there. We're putting out the truth of the Bible, because the Bible covers everything. I mean, as you can see, just by the amount of content we've been putting out, by filtering the scriptures with whatever topic we talk about. Scriptures covers everything. So in this case, when we're talking about the Edomites in this case, they're going to be brought down to tribute. They're going to be our slaves. That's written in the scriptures. Okay? It is what it is. Now, let me even read this. 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And this is all happening. The truth of the wicked is being revealed. All right. The truth really stems back to the men which came before all of us put together. They revealed who these Edomites really were. Excuse me. They revealed who these so-called white people really were, which in fact they're the biblical Edomites. And I mean those are the pure blooded of that nation. Because even among so-called white people, there lies our people in that too. You got our people that do descend back to so-called Native American Indians, that do descend back to so-called black people, all Latino people. It's just the truth. All right. But what we're gauging at when we talk against the Edomites is the pure-blooded so-called white people, which in fact they're Edomites, which means red, which is why you see them and they look red, which the color red or scarlet is symbolic of sin. So they're the people of sin. And this is why that's all they know how to do. And they've been pro at it. Okay. No other nation has become as wicked as they became, because it's in their natural right to be the way that they are, as it is written in the book of Proverbs 16 and verse 4. For the Lord doeth all things, he created even the wicked for the day of evil. Okay. So that's being revealed. But ultimately, who they are and what they're going to do is being revealed and spoken about by the word of truth, because that's the only thing that we bring out is the Bible on everything. All right. So again, then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So the spirit of truth is going to be consistent. The mouths of the prophets is really the mouth of the Lord, because the Lord speaks through the prophets, just to include. All right. So what they're doing now is they're speaking. They're getting together in secret to find out ways and how they can mitigate, as they call false news or false information, to do away with certain truths that's being brought out. And then it's going to trickle all the way down to the preachers that be wearing the robes like we do every week. And that's going to be the last resort. But anyway, without me talking, let me get into this. The act of speaking the truth has been criminalized right before our eyes, says Neil Oliver. So as this reads, the truth is the kryptonite of the parasite class. And there's nothing they fear like the crystal clear sound of someone somewhere telling the truth. So dangerous is the truth to those grown rich and fat on the profits of war and corruption, and those who have profited most from all the lies and lying. And that's just the thing. You know, these devils at the very top that have all of the wealth, they've been profiting off of lies. This world can only but function under under lies. It can't function in truth. So this is the reason why they want to knock people out for speaking truth and make it illegal to speak truth, especially for those that have alternative media outlet programs and these things. Because what's going on, it's stopping them from performing their original agenda, whatever agenda that is. And we know what the ultimate agenda is, but there's many different various things that they want to bring about around the people, but they can't do it if people know their plans and know who they are and what they're about to do. All right. So they can't thrive off of the truth. So eventually they're going to have to do something about that and persecute those that do speak truth. And like I said, the last resort is that they're going to attempt to persecute the prophets. But you see, this is the reward of the saints for standing and having integrity with the truth. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Exactly. So it would be a badge of honor to be persecuted for the truth, because we're doing it for Yahweh Shai. And that is going to be a pleasure unto him by the will of the Lord. So, I mean, come on. Why not go do something like that? This is why this also reads in the book of Hebrews 11:6, because faith is definitely going to be demonstrated in these times among the elect. And that is what's going to please our Father in heaven. But first, Yahweh Shah, of course, as this reads, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. And I just read the reward. The reward is the kingdom of heaven, which will be established here on this planet Earth. And what will entail the kingdom of heaven is that we're going to rule over our oppressors, the oppressors that had us down and out previously, and the oppressors that have us down and out currently. We're going to rule over them. Okay, now let's even read that in the book of Psalms. Matter of fact, before I go there, let me read this. And just wanted to make sure that my mic was on. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken from misery, and their going from us is to be utter destruction. But they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet there is hope full of immortality, as what the Apostle Paul said, as I'm going to read. Yeah, this is 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh us a far more exceeding eternal weight of glory. So now let's read this once again. And having been a little chastised, because the chastisement that we're going through is only but a little, but it seems as though it's a big deal to us, right, in comparisons to what the glory is going to be. As this reads, which this is right in relation to what the Apostle Paul is saying, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace have he tried them and received them as a burnt offering, which is in relation to Zechariah 13 and 9, which we will read that as well. As this reads, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried, and they shall call on my name, and I will hear them, and I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. So the fire represents the affliction that we're going to have to go through under the period of Jacob's trouble. And after that, as it reads, and receive them as a burnt offering. So we're going to be considered received as a burnt offering. All right. As the scripture says, that we give our bodies as a living sacrifice. So we've done that through the teachings. And now we're going to have to go through, and now we're going to have to do the same thing as we go through Jacob's trouble. And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. And they shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their law shall reign forever. Now, doesn't it also say that we're going to rule the nations, right, with a rod of iron? Now, let's even read let's read the book of Revelations 2 and verse 26. As this reads, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, and even as I received of my father. So that's what's going to happen. The other nations are going to be humbled by the fury of the Lord himself, which will be put upon us. And that is going to set the nations in order. And as we read this again, and I'm going to read another verse after this, another scripture. And they shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. So the Lord is going to reign with us, right along with King David. King David is going to be on that throne, as it is also written, or as it reads, as I can quote it to the best of my ability, that there will be no end to the throne of David. Okay, so when we judge the nations by humbling them for the wrongs that they have done and just set them right any doggone way, guess what? They're going to have to come under those laws and those statutes, which will proceed from us, which will be Mount Zion. Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 1. And the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the Most High of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So that's what it's going to be. So the prize of the saints, if they endure to the very end, is that they will rule over the nations. Okay, and the nations will be their inheritance, or being that it's us, will be our inheritance. This is why this reads in the book of Psalms chapter 2, verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So we're going to have all of the nations for a possession, and as well as the areas of the planet Earth, which will be in the entire earth, which was made for our sakes, according to the book of 2nd Ezra 7. Okay, and as well as 6 as well. So that's all I'm going to read from there. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say on this regard. So with that, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. And with that, I'm closing. Shalom.